We're live in a few seconds. Okay, I guess we're live. Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room and to my YouTube viewers. Good morning to you. Glad you're here. Hope you're inviting somebody because on an average, I notice we're getting about 50-something people live on YouTube every day. If all of you bring one more person tomorrow, we'll have 100. That would be great. Right? So find someone who really is struggling in the trading. I can guarantee you 90% of the traders out there in the world are struggling. So you will find one who is struggling, who really needs the help to understand what is happening in the charts. And it will be good karma for you if you find somebody who needs help, because 90% and more of them needs it. With that said, today is the third day we are doing this live. We have 2 more days, that is tomorrow and Friday, 2 sessions a day. Join us in the New York sessions if you can. Right? For those of you who are interested in joining our group, if you're not in the group already, there are 2 ways you can join. You can become a full member, which means you get access to everything we do. And I mean everything possible. Anything you need to know about trading, like anything you need to know about trading, will be discussed in the group. You have questions about something, we will answer it. We'll try to find the answer. If I don't know the answer, somebody in my group knows the answer to it. We will find the answer together if we don't know it. Right? So basically, anything about trading or around trading is discussed. So when you ask me what we do in the group, that's what we do in the group. Why I'm mentioning that? Because somebody asked me, what is the trading group does? Like, what do you guys do in there? We trade and we discuss everything about trading. So if you're joining me live, this is basically what we do. We come in here, we chat, we take trades, we manage trades, we think them, right? That's basically what we do. If you're in the group, you will also get training. Training is theoretical, gives you all the theory you need to know about this, and then the practical part, as well as a lot of question and answering. So if you have any questions along the way, your questions will be answered. That is if you're a full member. You also have lifetime access. What does that mean? I think lifetime access, a lot of people really don't know what it means until you have it for like 4 years. So there were traders who were with us for a year or 2, and whatever happens in their life, or things happen, people get divorced, people get married, people get children, people go to school, people take another job, all kinds of stuff happen. And because of that, a lot of traders have left trading. But then they came back to trading, and then they wrote me a message. Hey, I've been off for 2, 3, 4 years, right? I've been off of your group. I took your course 5 years ago. Can I join again? And the answer is yes, you can join again. That's what lifetime access means. It doesn't mean you'll be here your whole life with me. You can do that. I will really be happy for that. But it means you have it whenever you need it. If for whatever reasons you find trading is not going your way, you're not in the right mindset, your life is going miserable, you need to change, you need to, things happens in life. If your life is going great, you'll be trading with us. So only if something really go bad, then you leave and then you come back, and that's okay. We have had one girl who actually gave birth, left, came back, traded with us, gave birth again, left. I can't remember if she came back the second time. I wouldn't know that. But I know the first time she gave birth and she came back. And the second time she left because she was giving birth again. And that's what lifetime access does. It gives you access for life. As long as you were with us, you can come here anytime you want and trade with us. So lifetime access is discussed, right? If you don't and you cannot afford the full course, and that's a thing a lot of traders have issues with. They have a $5,000 account, they can't pay for the course, but they would like to have access to what we do because they like the way we analyze charts and it can help them in their trading. Join the installment program. You can pay anything from $100 and above. And when you meet the cost of the course, you don't have to pay anything else. You will have access to the full group and you will have everything that's needed to be a successful trader, right? Basically. So send me a message on Skype if you need more info, and I will give you it. With that said, let's go. We're going to start with the yen. I think some of you yesterday saw this, and I think that created a shockwave among the retail trading community. And everybody started to discuss, and everybody started Google the internet and starting, hey, what happened? What really happened? And some people thought they know what happened, and some people started interpreting what they heard. And all kinds of story come around, right? This always happens when you're expecting a drop. Well, for most of you, that was a shock that it dropped. For me, that's a normal thing. Because I'm looking at a chart, and in 1 week, if I tell you to show me, if after 1 week this chart goes on and I tell you, show me where there was an intervention, I think none of you will be able to identify it. Because it will just be a normal week like we had here, like we had here before, 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 and I could go on, right? And all that move is not as bigger than this move, for example. It's not bigger than this move. It's not bigger than this one. It's not bigger than this one. It's not even bigger than this one. It's not even as big as this one. So it's just a normal thing in the chart. It happens. That's why it's wave analysis. Should you expect that to happen? Well, go back and look at my past webinars for the last 2 weeks. Remember what I said, keep your eyes on the yen. I couldn't have been more clear. Keep your eyes on the yen. It's going to drop. Is this the one that's going to drop? Maybe not. I don't think so, because if that was the one that's going to drop, we wouldn't be at the top here. So what is likely going to happen? We're going to go into 1 hour. And most likely, even if this is to come down from where it is, it's likely going to come down like this. It's probably going to go back up. It could even retest the low, but then it's going to make a new high. That is most likely what could happen. And then it's probably going to drop because it will still drop. The chances of this dropping from here, it's possible, but it's pretty rare. With that pullback that you have there, it's pretty rare. Most likely we will retest that top. Not exactly with this move, because this move would probably stay here, maybe even go there, come back here. This could even be a flat in the middle before they go back up, like a 1, 2, 3, and then go. So I expect it to come down somewhat. I expect this to actually come back somewhat because we have this one. So a flat is likely going to form here. Can it actually come down and make another one and come down and make another one and go down and make another one and make another one, then go back up and make a flat here, retest the low and then go? See, there's so many variations I can draw of how this can behave right now, but all of that would be useless if you can't trade it. So what would be the trading for you? Well, let's come here and let's assume that we think this is going to come down this much, and you're getting a sell set up here. Will you take the trade? So if you want to take the trade, where would you take it? You would say, well, let's take it under the low, or let's click. Now, if you take it under the low, you just have to be careful that should it go back up, you don't want to be taken out in that trade. So you'll have to use a bigger stop, and the stop would have to be here, which means your risk to reward would be really good if it only comes all here, but we're not expecting it to go all the way there, right? We're only expecting it to come this much. If I'm expecting it to come down from there, I'm expecting it to come down this much. That's all for a flat to form here. So that means you'll have to have a different strategy of how you trade it. You took the euro yen sell. We're going to go through all the yen pairs because we had sell set up on some of them. That is, by the way, if you're on YouTube, you didn't see that chat because that chat is happening inside our Zoom meeting. This is the trading room itself. One of my traders said he took the euro yen sell. He got 255 pips. Amazing. So I think one person took another one, I think was either the CAD or something. We'll look at all of them. So basically this one, this is a sell setup. Now you still have to be careful with this because nobody says this doesn't become a flat and go back up and then do this, go back up and then drop. See how trading becomes difficult for a lot of you? Because you can't visualize, most of you can't visualize what I just draw. And if you don't know that, every candle in this thing is going to create a fear in you. So that if it tags you here and start to go back, you're going to be scared to death because, oh my God, this thing could go up high. And if you're trying to buy it and it drop one more, that is going to really scare the heck out of you. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to drop to the bottom and it's not going to go back to the top. Not now. Maybe later tonight, but not now. So you want to trade that? We can take the trade and see it's a risky trade, but you just have to keep a bigger stop. You'll have to double your risk or so to get profit in it. To make it a profitable trade, you'll have to double your risk. If not, just wait until it's settled down. Wait until you get a bigger flat, and then buying from the bottom up would be easier. Or selling from the top come down would be easier. Right now, you're in the middle of it. So this is not a very good trade. Euro yen. We were expecting euro yen to go up yesterday. Remember, we said, if this one breaks the top, that's a good trade to the upside because we have this pattern. So let's take a look at this pattern because this is interesting. So the pattern we had yesterday, let me take this out because I actually relooked at it. And this happens pretty often. When you start to get something that looks like this, In general, we knew this is going to fall. That's the whole general thing, right? We know that it's going to come down because it's coming this way. The problem is, how do you put these pieces together? And because this was the lowest one, we had it like this yesterday. So if you keep it like this, and I told you that, we're expecting one more there, and from there it will probably drop, or it's going to go up one more and drop, because we're trying to count the combination inside here to see what it looks like, right? What pattern we're going to take. And I think, and this would be a normal mistake anybody would make, but it's a mistake I made because this was the lowest point. I thought this belongs to the up move, and we will always do that anytime you're trading. But now that it dropped, you can go back and say, maybe this belongs to this side. Because if it belongs to that side, then this makes sense. Because this one is the first one down. This would be the correction. And this would be the next drop. And now all of that makes sense. So you didn't get the buy on the euro yet? Okay, no big deal. Take this off. Let's go with the other ones that had this trade. So take this off here. And right now we have this. We have 1, 2, 3. So the question is, what after that? Can we retest the top, or are we going down? Is this a correction to retest, make a new high, or is that a correction to keep? Is that a drop there that starts the bigger trade to the downside? Well, we wouldn't know that until we see what happens here. So we're going to look for what happens here is you're going to wait to see if we get a flag here. If we get a flag here, we're going to buy this to retest the top. If we don't get a flag, which means if this is going to go down, if this is going to go down, if this is going to go down and come back up, we're going to get a flat, and this flat is going to be to the downside. Right? So we're going to see which side this goes. Pound yen. If you took the sell setup, you did excellent. I think you managed to grab some profit out of it. That was a sell in the pound yen. Now that it has dropped that much, any correction here would be a sell. It pulled back a lot, but it could be that they're making a flat, right? This could make a flat there. So right now you're getting a buy setup. This here is a buy setup. Should this go back up, we will buy. If this comes down lower and make any flag here, we sell all the way back to the bottom, expect it to come back and then drop. Very simple, right? So as it stands right now, we can put an entry order here to buy, take off the sell, put the entry order to buy. And that means if this breaks to the upside, you want that trade. That is this small flag. Should this go back up, that's a trade you want. Should it go lower and make any flag, only then we'll sell it. You can't sell this where it's standing right now. Aussie yen. This is a sell setup. Aussie yen was a sell yesterday. This one was a sell to come down a little more. It actually went much more than we expected. It came all the way to the bottom. And the Aussie yen, like the euro yen, we're also thinking that this has one more up. That is this move up, right? I still think that is correct. I still think this thing has one more up. I don't think it's going down from here. So I still believe this is going to go up one more before it drops. We're going to come into 15. And if we get a flag there that says buy, we'll take it. Right now, you don't really have a flag that says buy. You're getting it. It looks like a running flat. I would say it looks like we had a running flat here, or we're still in a running flat, something like that. So I would let this come here. As long as we're in this up move here, I would not take any sells. As long as it's doing this, I'm not selling. But if it comes to the bottom here, if this comes here and decide to go back up with a flag, we're buying. We're going to buy this because this could be a running flat that takes off. And I think that looks good for the upside. So we'll be looking for a buy setup here. I'll take this as sell off and we'll be looking for a buy setup. We'll be looking for a buy setup on the pound yen. Take the sell off, look for a buy setup. New Zealand yen, that was a sell. The sell was from here. And if you kept that sell, you did well. If you put a second sell here, you did well. You make some profit because both of them are sells. And New Zealand yen, we still have it to go down some more. I still think this is going to come some more, right? But that could be enough. I think this might be enough. If you remember this one, we said it's going to go this much down and then it's going to start to correct, right? So are we going to get a correction here and then, something before we drop again? Because we're trying to do this one, right? So you think the yen dropped, all the yen pairs dropped because of the intervention that they make? I think it was dropping way before that. If you look at that move, as the intervention changed what we thought it was going to do, beats me. Unless you think that I know what was going to happen, right? The arrow is still there and it still looks like it can go somewhere down. Let's see what it has here in the 15. As a matter of fact, this one is looking more downside. See, they made a small flat here. We get to the top, we drop. This is more of a correction. If this thing makes a correction here, you can actually sell it. I'm in the 15 minutes. So unless we get something that is sellable to break the low, then we'll go with it. This is sharp, so I don't think that would be enough. We could stay here for a while, make a flat, and then drop again. But this one is not looking upside, at least not structurally the way it is. This might be influenced by the New Zealand as well. So we'll still look for sell setups. Canadian. This was the sell in the Canadian. If you close the trade anywhere, if you close it here, you re-enter. If you close it here, you re-enter. That was the sell setup. If you didn't take it, no problem. Where did we think Canadian is going to go? Well, we have some arrows there that was standing way before the intervention. See? That arrow didn't appear there yesterday. So, is it the market doing what the market is doing, or is it the Japanese doing what the market wants it to do? You ask the question. I'm showing what I think it's going to do way before it happens. So don't let that little intervention get to your brain. Focus on the charts. If that gets to your head, then you're not gonna trade properly. Stay focused on the charts. See, if you stay focused on the charts, you're gonna see the trades way before they happen, not after the fact. Let all the gurus who trade after the fact discuss what happens about yesterday. We were already in most sells. So what we're going to look for here is some kind of a correction. I think they'll probably get some kind of a correction here, and then we're going to drop one more. Remember, we still have two options. We still have this one. So if we made that one, then yes, this could actually go back up and then come down. And this would be the running flat. So is it going to go back up, or is it going to do this one that is come down here? Well, let's see. Let's see what we have at the top there. We're going to go into 15. And if we get a buy setup, we'll take the trade. And I think we are getting a buy setup. You could make an argument here for running flat. I'll go into 5 minutes. I want to see where this stops. Yep. You could come in here and make an argument for this, making a running flat. So when this comes here, we can look for a buy setup. All you will need is a flag here to buy. And that would be the trade. So if we get a flag here, we're going for that trade to the upside because that's a perfect running flat. Let's see if we get it. I'll leave that there and we're looking for a buy setup. Swiss yen. I think you can agree that this is looking like a perfect flat for a buy. Let it come down some more, and if we get a buy setup, we'll go for it. This would also be looking for a buy setup, at least for now, unless they come really deep. Unless all of these work their way down really, really deep like this, and then we go back up one more for this flat, then we'll look for a sell. We will buy this as well, and then we'll sell that because the range is huge. Can you sell these coming down? Well, yeah, like I said, if you think it's not making that flat at the top there, but it's coming down more, you can sell the small flags. The range is how much? I think that's a couple hundred pips. This is about, yeah, that's about 200 pips range. So it's a tradable range inside of it if you think you got a good flag to trade and you have the skills to get in and get out. Nothing is wrong with that. If you don't have the skills to do that, well, then you probably stay away from it. Right? So this is coming down. It's coming down really slow, some really small 5 minutes flags. I don't like to trade a 5 minutes flag, not because I can't, but because it takes a lot of energy and timing. You have to be glued to the screen all the time doing that. So let's wait for the 1 hour. If the 1 hour setup is perfect, we're going to go with it. Right? That's it. Nothing out of the art, nothing happened that not expected. So don't get too enthusiastic about it. We actually dropped through this pattern. So that is really interesting. It means we could look at this as a running flat. I think we spoke about that yesterday. Or in one of the webinars, I can't remember which one of the webinars we did it, or maybe in my trading room, but you may want to relook at some of those webinars if you missed them. Because this could be a running flat here, or this one could be a running flat. If you put this one internally as a separate one. right? So this could actually work its way down here. Instead of going, it could go back up, right? Nothing says this is not a correction for upside because it's coming down really, really slow. But if this is to come back here slowly like this and then go there, we will definitely go for long-term trades to the downside. If that turns out to be a flat there, it means on the longer term, we're going down big time, like really big time. All right, if this turned out to be, if they see that big move I have there, draw there, see? Forecasts are already waiting here for you. So there's nothing, strange happening. What we'll be looking for is what happens here now, what happens here within this week. If this turns out to be a small flat here, that's a sell for downside. If it turns out a flag, we might retest the top and then come down. So which is it? Flag we buy, flat we sell. Go back to the 15. Right now you're making a flag. So once that flag is completed, we're going to put it as a buy setup. And if it doesn't go up, it's keep going down, we will consider the sell, but then it will become a flag, flat for downside. Put an entry order here, sorry. You can put an entry order here for the buy right now as it stands, because a running flat, it doesn't have to go anywhere. It could go up like now. I think it could come lower, but that could go up right now. So it's a buy setup. Can we buy it lower than that point? I think we can. If you pull a line across this looks very corrective, which means that we might have a few sharp moves there. You can put the entry order here on top of the last impulse for that trade to the upside. If this comes lower, we're going to move it down lower. But right now we're looking at these splits, right? This pull back here, then all of this and this correction. That is upside. This one is literally showing the upside side, this piece here at least. So we'll go with the buy and see where that takes us. That is for the yen pairs. So let's go from there now. Let's go through the rest of it. Let's go with the dollar index. We would look at it. I'll go through them and then I'll look at all the trades that we actually took yesterday and what happened to them. So dollar index, we were expecting it to go up. It did go up. It came down back. All right, I think this was news driven. When it go there, came here, it just stay right. I still think it's upside. I don't think we're turning to the downside as yet because all of this is consolidating at the top. See that up move and everything is starting to consolidate right there. Probably go one more up. Make a flat here, go one more up. So maybe they will consolidate here longer and then it's going to go. So we're not turning, we're still going up. That means I just move this up higher to see where that goes. Wait for this flat to complete itself. It's not completed. Take this as the first move down. All of this is consolidation. It needs to come back one more time, complete that pattern, and then upside. So maybe we would even get a sell set up, a short-term sell set up. I'm on the 15 minutes. This might not really be a sell. All right, let's go. Silver. It's kind of going sideways, right? There was news event yesterday and most of the trades we actually closed before the news event. Some of you remember I was in the gold or the silver trade. I can't remember which one we closed. This is going sideways. This was your first move up. And we're going sideways here. See that? So this is going to go back there, come back here, and it'll probably give us a flat. And if we get that flat, we'll buy for one more move up. In the big picture, it could still go down, but that will be one more move up today for a trade to the upside. We're correcting this impulse. And that means once this go up, right? If this kind of make a flat here and go, it could make another flat and go. It could make another flat and go. And then eventually this will drop. But we need to get these trades to the upside because the entire week, which is the next 2 days, we might be going up. Let's look for buy setups. We don't have any buy setups right now, but they're consolidating. So we might get a buy setup within this move. So we're going to have a lot of short-term trades, really short-term trades. Where you take a trade, it doesn't go very far. You have to get out and come back down, you buy again, and then we'll see what happens. There is this sharp pullback, so that's the first impulse down. This is the correction happening. We need to go up, come back down, and then go. So if you want to buy now, that'll be a break-even trade. So we're waiting for a buy setup. So I'll put this as a buy setup, waiting for a buy setup. Short-term, gold. Yep, we were in the gold here, and I remember closing it somewhere in here, right? Because we started seeing the consolidation even before the news we closed it. So it's kind of coming down, it goes back up. If you look at it, you have 1, 2, 3. And this is coming down really slow, right? You have a 1, 2, 3 up, you have a 1, a 2, and a 3 up. That means this can come break the low and then go back up. It's coming down, but it's coming down really, really slow like this. See? So it could work its way down like this. These are channels, very small channels, and then upside. Channels like these tend to break to the upside. So if we do break this low, that would be amazing. We'll put an entry. We're not putting anything right now, but if we break the low, I'll put an entry order for a buy. Because then I think we could either totally go back up or we'll just make a bigger correction. By that, I mean this would probably work its way down here. Go back up to the top, make a bigger flat, and still drop. But we will buy this. We'll try to get that trade to the upside. You could put an entry order now, by the way, if you want. You could put an entry order here for the on the channel for my traders. This is something we would do. We'll put an entry order above the top here. Just pull a line like this. Put an entry order there. And you're waiting for the break of this top. If it goes in one move, take the profit off because it's a flat for downside. That's actually a buy setup right now. So we can put that as a buy, sorry. You can put that as a buy again. So yesterday we took out some profit. We might get to take out some profit. The euro is going to make a flat. Right. So I was showing the traders yesterday, not yesterday, when we were in our trading when we took that buy. And now we're thinking, well, why not take this buy? You can bring it down a little lower. We didn't break the low. So likely it's going to go up. Now, two ways you're going to look at this. This will just probably come here for traders who are on YouTube. And if you don't understand wave analysis, this might be a little difficult for you. So be careful. This might just do that and drop one more. That's a flat that is going to come down. And it's very likely looking like a flat. The only reason we're going to take this is because we have a really sharp move here. And there's a potential, see this flat here, it would have been a flat also. We took the trade, we knew the risk, right? So this one here, I think is gonna go up. It probably could start an up move. Back to the top there for a running flat. If not a running flat, it could totally go. But the risk you're aware of is that when it breaks this top, and if it starts a turn, you have to be cautious, right? You don't have to close the trade immediately, but you have to already start managing your trades, assuming it could be a flat. So the entry should go above the last impulse, which is right here, and I actually like it. That's a good buy setup. Because should it repeat this? This was looking exactly the same thing, right? This one is even a little higher than that. So I like the trade. We'll put it as a buy. And we'll manage it. We'll show you how we manage that as we go. Yep, Punk came down lower, so running flat downside. Punk confirm our thought of downside. So you got a 1, 2, 3. You need it to go back up. Be careful with the euro. This is already telling us it's a running flat. I would go with a running flat. I hate the idea of putting that as a contracting flat. So I think we've just got this drop here, which is this one. So we've just got this flat out of the way. We need one more move to the top like this. And then that, if I take this second one, it should be like this. Something like that, and then downside. So let's put this arrow here. So, see, we discussed this morning and why buying the Pong is a bad idea, but buying the euro is a better idea. This has some more to go up. I think you can see that. It's probably going to go up some more. And from here, we would have to be really careful. Now, is there a chance this actually takes off to the upside? Well, if we go with two sets of contracting flat, that is first this one as a contracting flat, and second, this one as a contracting flat. So if you go with two sets of contracting flats, well, then yes, this could take off. What would confirm the takeoff for a buy? Very simple. Just let it go. Let it make a flag. Instead of dropping back, let it make a flag here. And then we'll say, well, let's accept the two contracting flats and go with that buy. But for now, be careful. If there's no buy setup here to go with. So we will look for a sell setup. Aussie is going to be a sell. It's flat. So Aussie is going to drop one more, I think. And then we'll consider the upside, right? So we still have one more. Yeah, we have it lower, so we can put this lower. I definitely think they're going to go a little lower. And then we're going to look for the other one. Can we sell it? Absolutely. You can put a sell entry here right now. But better to get it from a lower point. Go here. From a higher point, sorry. If this turned out to be a flag, we'll sell it. For my traders, if this turned out to be a flag here, we'll sell that flag to the downside. When it comes to the low, put it to break even. If it drops through that, your trade. If it goes back up, we repeat the process. So we're looking for a sell setup on the Aussie. New Zealand. I closed the one I took here this morning because it came, I think I got 1 pip profit, right? Because I saw it coming back and I'm like, okay, that's not it. So we're out. Now you have a sharp pullback, so, and it's going up. So they'll probably still do this, maybe come here, do this again, and then that becomes a sell again. Right? Just like this was a sell, I think that would be a sell, but not now. So we'll leave it. We'll look for a sell setup. The only one that actually has a buy setup is the euro, but also with the risk that it could be a sell setup. So if you're going to buy it, you buy it question. If we're wrong, all of these are going to go up really strong. Right? If I'm wrong about it and this starts to go up, it has to go up like this, pull back, make a running flat here, and then, yeah, we'll put an entry under there. So until that happens, we're going to assume that it's going to drop one more. And this one could definitely go lower. We're expecting it to come lower here. Yen, I think I already told you what we're going to do with the yen. So anybody sold the yen, just to show you how wave analysis is working. If you sell that yen, you can wait a little more, put it to break even, and either you get break even or you get a trade you're looking for. So what would be break even? It comes here. As a matter of fact, when it comes here, you might be taking profit because this is what we were expecting to do and then go up. Right? Remember, I said you're only coming for this trade. Use a bigger stop, double your risk, and go for it. My traders know what I mean. If you follow the charts, you don't have to be scared of what you're trading. This happened just in front of you, just like a few minutes ago. Hindsight, any trader will tell you that was a good sell. Did you take the sell? Come on, let's see how many of you took the sell. Anybody, just give me a Y if you took the sell. How many people we have on YouTube Live now? Can all of you put a Y or an N? A Y for a yes, an N for a no. I just want to make sure we have everybody, you know, say, hey, this is not a test for you guys. Don't worry, right? I'm not trying to test you. So far, we have 3 people in my group who took it, and we have right now, what, 14 people in here. How many people we have on YouTube that took it? Nobody. I haven't seen a single Y yet. Well, at least some of my traders took it. It's called confidence in trading. Understanding where you're trading and having the knowledge and having the confidence. Dimitri took it, but you're in our group. So, hey, you're on YouTube now, but you're in our group. So that's my trader, by the way. Who took it? Anybody else on YouTube? Nobody? Well, I'm pretty sure we have about 50 people because on an average, every single day on every session, we had about 50 something to 60 people in the sessions. Okay, one person took it that I don't know. That's Sly Master. I don't know the name of the person. Could be my trader. Could no, maybe not. I don't know. So see, you do not have the confidence to take that trade unless you understand. Right? You really have to understand the charts and have the confidence that that is a trade you can take. And how, if you understand what is the trade, how you're going to manage it, what your risk is, then you don't think twice. This happened in front of your eyes. Now go on YouTube when I finish here. Google Forex trading yen and find all the charts you're going to find about yen and see if any one of them showed you a trade like that. They will tell you a lot of nonsense about the Japanese and their intervention and blah, 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 and how they know more about anything else in the world and what the Japanese are going to do and how the market is going to react and what the bankers are going to do and all the bullshit you will hear. Did they show you a trade? That's the question. Did they show you a trade where you can make money? Forget about all the BS. What am I supposed to do with the BS? I am here to trade and make money. That's the point. That's the difference between wave analysis and everything else. And I mean everything else, is that we identify trades and we take them. We don't wait for after the fact when it dropped and said, oh, well, yeah, this, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of blah, blah going on, right? And I think every guru is talking about the yen on the internet, right? So every single guru is talking about the yen on the internet. Well, why don't you go ask them, right? Sweden is in our group. You had a message, sorry. Yeah. Oh, you typed the Y too. Okay, good. So all the traders who took it are actually my traders. Let's go. Swiss. We're looking to sell this. I hope my traders sell it from this point. because it went up higher, not here, because you have this and you should sell it higher. We were in the Asian session this morning and this did not happen. It was here. It actually went up, and as soon as it go back up, you put it here, right? That is where the sell should have been. So my traders, you should be in that sell. And when it breaks this low, you put that to break even. For other traders who are not in this trade, you can actually put an entry order here, but you'll have to be really, really cautious with that, right? The trade we were expecting is this trade. Why cautious? Let me explain. Because this could be a 1, 2, 3, and go back up and then actually drop, right? Just like this. See this flat here? They went up, they made this one, they went up, they could make another one and go. But we will take the trade because there's a possibility to come here. Now your entry order is here, your stop is above that top, and you're trying to go for this trade. I think the risk to reward is good here. So here is another trade. Do you have the confidence to take it? Do you understand what to do with it? See, my trader should be in already. CAD, same thing, sell setup. Okay, this one went up a little higher than normal. Let's see what we do with it. Yep, we can still treat it as a running flat in this. So the sell is still here. Why we're taking the CAD at the top there? Because we do think it can do this. It can come back to the bottom here, and then we will have a running flat here. So that is a CAD trade. I'm telling you, this is the trade we're looking for, and we will take it. And if it doesn't go, I'll show you how we manage our way out of the trade. Either we get a loss or we manage our trade out of the way. Every single trade you take can be a loss. But do you have the confidence to take the trade? That is the problem with traders. Do you understand what you're looking for? Well, if you don't, and if you don't have the confidence to trade, then keep doing what you're doing or join us. That's the choice you have. Right? You don't have a lot of choice. That's the choice you have. Euros. We're looking for a buy setup. We're going to buy this differently. There's an entry above the top, but we're trying to buy it from here. And my traders, we got the flag we were looking for. So right now, it broke the top. So here's what you're going to do. We got this. Right? We got that. Either they come and they drop beyond this point, right? And then they start to go up, or they continue to go down, right? This would be like this. And then they go down. So right now, it's not really clear what to do there. I don't think we'll take it as yet. Let's see if this becomes a flag. If it stays there longer, we'll trade it to the upside as a flag. So this was the move we expected. It happened. Now let's see if they drop. Wait for that. The pound Aussie is the same thing, right? So we're still in the big picture as a buy. We're just trying to get in very aggressive, right? So let's go. Euro New Zealand. Well, you can buy this here if you want, but this is going to be part of the correction. You can put an entry order to buy this, but it's part of the correction, so it might not break out the top right now, right? Your buy on this one should have been here yesterday. If you're buying this one, you can buy it here, but it might just do this and come back again, right? Just be aware of that. Use a stop under this low. Should it take off, stay with it, running flat. That's what I mean. So this could be a buy set. This is an aggressive trade. My traders will know how to manage it. I'll show you how we manage it. But it's an aggressive trade and it's worth taking. Euro yen, buy setup. I think we already agreed on the yen that Euro yen would be a buy setup. Wait for this to go down. It's going down. Wait for it to go down. And then we'll look for the buy setup on this. You can actually put an entry order here now. We'll try to buy it lower. We'll try to buy it somewhere here if we get a flag. But if we don't get a flag, we'll go with that. Euro CAD. I think we stay out of it for now. It's going to make a bigger flat. Remember yesterday I told you that this is the first impulse of a possible bigger flat forming in here. It's probably going to go there, come back here. When we get this flat, then we'll start to buy. So for now, we'll just leave it alone. But it will be a buy setup. It's making a bigger flat. Euro Swiss. Okay, this is coming down, but this thing is weird. That is a sharp move up there, and this one is sharp, and that is sharp. There's a sell setup right here, right now. But that might just come here and even go back up. So I think we stay away from this one now. You're not going to get a good risk to reward traders yet. I'm not sure what these two sharp pieces mean in this pattern. I don't think it's a complete pattern, so I stay away from it. We'll figure out that later. Euro pound. So we got the drop. And we're going back up. So great. That is this one, just to remind you, that is this one. And then there's a chance it's going to go back up. There's a reason we put the entry order here for the sell, because we knew that when we drop there, it can retest the top. It's not actually going to retest the top the way I think it should. Right? I think if they're going to retest the top, this should go really sharp. It's not going sharp. It's kind of going slow. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move this entry order to this point. If this is making a flat here to drop, we want the trade. If it is going to retest the top, this is still a good entry. So we're going to move that sell to there, and it's an active sell right now. Pangos. Okay, Pangos retest the low. Unlike Euro Aus, Pangos already retest the low. So we could take this out. The running flat completed itself. We're going to go with this as a running flat. We're going to take that to be the running flat for now. And that means this could do two things. It could totally go up, or it could consolidate more. Let's wait, see if it's going up. Any flag between this and the top here, we're going to take. Any flag we get, right? So can we put an entry order above this one? I think we can, but that's too risky. So let's wait for this to make a flag somewhere here, and then we're going to take that flag to the upside. If it's going down, they will consolidate in this range. So you know, let's wait and see which one we get. I'm leaving it open for both sides. Tong Yen. It's making the flat we were expecting it to make, so that is definitely upside. I'll put it like this for now. We're definitely thinking upside on this one. Actually, no, this is not the move. The move is actually only to this level. That was the upside. So this is it, which means this could go back right up. You put an entry order here for a buy. That's our buy setup. I'm looking at it this way. This was the first move down. This is the correction. This is the next move down. This one could go. What's the range here? Can we buy inside the range? 82 pips. If you get a flag inside, take it. If you get a flag inside the range, we'll buy it inside. So we will need this to go up here and make a flag here. And then we're going to take that flag to go. Or a flag here. Anywhere here you get a flag that is worth trading, we're going to go for that. But make sure it's a good flag you can trade. Don't jump in too early. Right? If it stays at the bottom, if instead of a flag, this one stays here and do this, right? Then we'll consider whether that's a top. What if this was a, I don't know, contracting flat or a smaller flag and a smaller flag and that's a top? Then this would be a flat for more downside. But it has to be a really good flat, not just two candles, right? Remember, I'm at the 5 minutes. So you want to make sure that there's a 15-minute flag. You don't have any flag there. Makes a 15-minute flag, then we buy it from the bottom going up. So we're still looking for a buy setup first, not a sell. Pound Swiss? Okay, now we're getting a buy setup. I just don't like the depth of the pullback, but we'll go with the trade. Right? So this did what we wanted, came down, and now it's going up. And just in case if you were here for Monday, that arrow was before it dropped. We expected to drop. It did drop. We were expecting this to go up. This arrow was here too. So what we're going to do is put an entry order here, and we're looking for this trade to go there. Now, it's not going to go in a straight line, but let's see if it gets there. That's a buy setup. We can buy that earlier. Let me see what's the range. 37 pips. Don't worry. Put the entry above the top there. Go with whatever stop you have to use under the low. Put it here. I don't think you'll get a flag in between there if it should go. If it should go, we get a flag. If we don't, then just leave it alone. That's a buy. That's actually a buy now. Pound New Zealand. Okay, this went up nice. It came down back. It's just like the Euro New Zealand. I think we're making the B part here. Right, we're kind of making the correction here. It probably come back and then go. Pretty much like this. See, come back and then go. This was like this. Go there, come back and then go. See. So let's see. What if it doesn't go all the way to the top? What if it stays here? Put an entry for a sell. Right? So it's only 2 candles. On the 1 hour, I think it's 1 candle. Right? No, 3 hours actually. 1, 2, 3. You can put an entry order to sell it. Let's put an entry order to sell. That's a lot of hours. That's an entry order to sell. It's only valid if it doesn't go back to the top, right? So go back into 15. That's a valid sell as long as we don't break the top. As long as we don't come back to this top. If it stays in here, it's a sell. If it goes higher than that, take it off. It's a flat for upside. So we're going to put this as an aggressive sell, and we'll see what happens. We do have divergence. Let me see in the 1 hour. We do have internal divergence, so it makes sense. Go for the sell. Let me see the Euro New Zealand. Let's look back at the Euro New Zealand. I want to see if structural is the same thing. No, not really. This one actually is much higher, and this is a perfect flag for the buy. So you should be in the buy already. You should be tagged in that buy already going. Keep an eye on it as it goes higher, which means Pound New Zealand might go higher, and then we'll deal with that, right? So let's go. Euro USD tagged. Okay, great. I'll keep an eye on it. Tell me when it breaks the top of the flat, and then we'll start monitoring, right? So this is a different trade. This one is a buy. Let's stay with that buy. The Pound New Zealand might climb up more, but we're not buying it. Let it go up on its own. Pound CAD. Okay, this flat happened, but then it came lower. And that is not good. That means it's still part of the correction. Okay, we're still in this flat for a very long time. Take this off. Don't put it. Take this off now. This is becoming a bigger flat because you have to complete this one. You have to complete this whole thing here. You have to go down back. You have to come back to the top. You have to come back here. And then we're going to look for a buy from here to go. Now, if the range is huge enough and we get set up, so we'll trade in it. But for now, let's leave that for the trading room. You don't want to get into this detailed discussion here. We'll do that later, but it will be a buy setup. Eventually, this thing is going up, right? The more they consolidate at the top there, the more they're convincing us that the trade we're going to be looking for would be this trade. But only it's going to happen later. There's a lot of consolidation there needs to finish. So it's a buy setup. Aussie Swiss, sell setup, still valid if you're in the sell. So remember yesterday I said when you take this, you're going to be inside the correction, right? If you were here, if you missed yesterday, by the way, if you're seeing this one for the first time, you're joining us live, or you missed any of the sessions, you better go rewatch them. A lot of them had some really, really interesting stuff. So this one I was telling you about, that this, you can sell it, but it's still in the consolidation. So if you sold it and you took break even, I'm okay with that. You learned something. That's the most important thing. If you didn't sell it, you learned nothing, right? You forget about it. You don't learn anything really, right? But it's still part of the consolidation. It actually came down and we went back, and now we were at this one. And I think that is a big consolidation, or we're still in the consolidation, come back here, go back there, and then drop. Possible running flat like this, because this has a lot of pieces in it. Your worst case is you got break even. If you're good enough, you got some profit. Take that out now. Now, what we learn is that we have this, and we have this. Come on. This piece has a lot of pieces. See, there was a single sharp one. This has a lot of pieces. What that means this might be a separate one of its own. I'll put it like this, and this could be a whole separate one of its own. And this, we'll either put that with this one, or we'll get it in the future. We'll put it with this one for running flat. And we discussed that yesterday. That is why we sold it in the first place. Remember why we sold it? Because it could possibly be that it's a running flat, and this one is going to drop. But instead of dropping, it made a deeper correction. It's still a sell. You can actually put a sell entry here. But better to get a flag on the way down. I don't think we'll get a flag on the way down. But that sell is pretty good. If we get a flag here, we'll sell the flag, but let's go with that sell for there. That's a good sell setup. So it's still a sell. Aussie yen. We already discussed all the yen pairs. We'll wait to see. This one, I'm not sure this is a running flat, because you can make an argument that this was the flat. We can make an argument like this. That was the flat. This is the top. We're going down. I don't think this needs to go down a lot, because we need to go back up one more, right? My thought process is this has to go up one more. If I miss anything in here, I don't know, contracting flat or something, then yes, we wouldn't go. But most likely, I think we will retest the top. So what we're going to do here is we're going to wait on this to make a flag. This thing can do two things. It can stop here and go back up. We'll buy above the top, or we'll buy any flag we get. Or it can make a flag here now. And if it makes a flag, we'll sell. We'll assume that that was the flat, this was all the flat, and that's it. These flats can be more complex. So it can be this. It can also be this, right? For now, I'll stick with this one until we see a change structurally. So just leave that alone. Aussie CAD. This is downside, but it's kind of weird. They're climbing up a lot. You can see, right? That's a big consolidation going on, but it's a consolidation for downside. So let's see where we would get the best trade. Kind of difficult. I might be tempted to put this as a separate one here. But it's still not looking good. It still looks like this is part of it. This is the low point. So here's what we're gonna leave the entry order there. And if we see a flat here, we'll start buying. Short term, but buy. So we leave that entry order there just in case all of this is part of the correction. And you wouldn't know that now. There's nowhere you can know that that's an expansion. Maybe later we'll figure it out, but now you're not going to do that. If it's an expanding flat, it's going to be two expanding flat. 1, 2, 3, because this broke the top. That's an expanding flat. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. That will give you two expanding flat. This is going to drop. If this starts consolidating here, so this has two ways to do. Come back to the bottom and consolidate here and we'll sell it, or go back to the top and consolidate here and we will buy it. Let's wait for that. Aussie, New Zealand. Yep, the upside we were expecting. Remember yesterday when it dropped, I said, I am not selling it because I do think it has to go back up. Well, seems I was right about that. All you need is a flag here now to buy, and we're going to get this running flat. We're going to go for this running flat here. So let's get a flag there and then we'll start buying. Go back to the 1 hour. I need a flag here to buy. Don't buy without a flag. See this one dropped, no flag at the top there. Wait for a flag to confirm that it's actually going up. So what would give us a flag? Well, they're already making one. If they come back here, that would be a perfect buy setup to go with. So unless you get the buy setup, you're not taking that trade because this thing can totally drop again and then go up. So let's wait and see if we get it. That'd be good. New Zealand CAD. Okay. I bought this and closed it this morning. No, not this one, sorry, the New Zealand dollar. It's very similar. I bought it here, the New Zealand dollar, and I closed it because it didn't go. What is this doing? Let's see in the bigger picture. We're expecting more upside, but this was a deep pullback. So take off that entry order from there. You can put it here, but that's not where we want to trade. We want to trade inside here. We want it inside of this structure to the upside if this should go up. So we don't have an upside, and if they actually consolidate here like this, that was a sell, by the way. If they do this, we'll sell it again. If they do this, we'll sell it again, and then we'll start to look for the buys and the bottom go up. So if this makes a flat, we will buy it. Just wait. We don't have enough information to make that trade result. New Zealandian, like I said, this is the only one I think could retest the low. Right? Because this one structurally looks like it can go down. We just have to wait and see what it's doing. I'll take this off. New Zealand Swiss. Well, if you sold that, I hope you closed the trade already. Take it off. Call it a break-even trade. Because it did do this and went up to the top. This was this flat. Dropped, break the low, come back here. Let's see if we have another flat to sell. Let's go into 1 hour and see what it's doing. It still looks downside because it's not looking upside as yet. This still looks very sharp downside. Let's see. We'll have to wait here for a flat or something to sell. We don't have anything right now. We have two pieces. We have a move up and a move down. We have this 1 up, 1 down. Would I go with a running flat here? Possible. Give me a flag here, right? So for my traders, if we go with that as a running flat, which is possible, right? I think we even spoke about it yesterday, that we could probably look at this as a running flat if it does that. So what you would need is a flag on the way down for the sell. If that confirms, take the sell on the way down. We can't confirm that as yet, but if you get a flag, that will confirm. Canadian. Well, same thing. Either we get a move up now or we get a flag to sell. So this is what you have here now, right? Like all the yen pairs. It did break this top. And that means you could actually say, well, this was all the correction. That was the top and we were going down. In that case, you need a flag here to sell. But if that's not the case, you can put it like this. Go with a running flat. Wait for this to give you a flag on the way up. Buy it. So you don't have to wait to buy above the top. You can wait for this. If it makes a move up and make a flag here, we'll buy this. If it stays here and consolidate, we're going to sell it. We need 2-3 hours for that. So just leave it for now. You jumped in that you can. If you sold this, that is good. If any one of you sold that, that's perfect. I think we looked at that in our trading. I can't remember, but if any one of you sold it, that's great. That's well done because you're selling for this move down, right? This move down, sorry, which you actually got. That makes sense. And the range is good. So that was a sell setup, 41 pips. Why not? So now we wait. Cat Swiss, sell. Okay, if you didn't sell it here, keep it under the low, one, at least two spread under the low, because they can come here and go back up. Right? This is kind of a correction. This is a drop. I'll take this piece as part of the correction. So this drop here means you can go back up one more. Look for a buy setup. The bigger picture is downside, right? This thing is going to drop through the bottom here eventually. So you can keep an entry order here. Leave that entry order there. But the most immediate trade you would look for is this, the reverse. Give you a flag here. And then take this trade to retest the top. Because this is the core correction, I think. And that means we need one more up, one more down, one more up. We need one up, one down, one up, and then drop. So if you get a buy setup from here to the top, what's the range? Take it. That's 30 something. Well, not the biggest range. If you don't get it, don't worry much about it. Let it go back to the top, and then we're going to trade it up. Let it get back to the top here, and then we'll look for the sell. Right? But if you get it, it's okay. If you don't, then don't worry very much. This is a big flat here for upside. Keep this entry order here. If I'm wrong, they're going to drop to the bottom. So we leave it as a sell on the 1 hour, but if you want to get aggressive. Okay, Swiss yen, I think we're looking for a buy setup there. It's coming down some more. If it drops some more, we'll move the entry order lower. Right? You're getting a flag again here. You got one flag, you got another flag, you got another flag. This one is going to drop. This is going to drop one more. And then we'll put the entry order on top of this. Right? You're going to be in this here, and then this should go. So let's see. Selling these small flags is like pretty much useless. I don't think that's a good idea. You can get 10 pips, but why worry? How much is the range in that? So if you sell it here, what you got? 11 pips. You can pull 10 pips out. Okay, let's see. This one is coming down. What's the bigger picture? Let's go back to the bigger picture, 1 hour. Yeah, look for the sell setup. If you get a sell setup, go for it. You can go with the 50 minutes flag and sell it. Sell any of the 50 minutes flag, you have to come back to this low. Natural gas. Okay, it's gone higher than expected. So let's take this out. That's definitely not a sell. And do we go with an expanding flat in here? That is not clear. If it's an expanding flat, we still have to come back one more. So this still has to come back here and then go. If you get a sell from the top, then you take it. That buy setup is a little too risky. This is looking like a buy setup, but it's way too risky to go with until we know what that is. That doesn't belong to anything. So it has to go, come back. If it comes back down, good for us. We'll look for the buy. The oil is coming down. You could have probably got an entry low, enter higher. Right on the 15, there was a flag for the sell from the higher point. But if you haven't got that, then wait for the entry under the low. If this makes another flag, we go with the sell. But you can keep it under the low, because when they drop quite a lot too sometimes. I'll keep it under this low. And let's wait and see. US 30, that was a good sell. That sell was good. Okay, this dropped lower like we expected. You're starting to get a channel. And channel tends to go up, so you can put the entry order here. Right, that's an entry order for a buy. Because channel tends to go up. So we go with the buy setup. We were expecting this to be a buy yesterday. Never tag, never go. You don't have to worry about it. I think we changed it, but the buy was here. The buy was above this top here. Right, we thought this one was going to go. Didn't happen. Well, it dropped lower, no problem. No, sorry, the buy was above this one. The buy was above this one. because we were here, we had just broken the low and we thought that one is going to go up, make this move. And it drops some more, but you're getting a channel. So I'm thinking running flat. You're getting a small channel here. And I think we will still get this move here. We'll still get that move, except we'll get it somewhere here now. So it's going to be something like this, most likely. If we get a buy setup here to go. You can put an entry order above this top. The way we trade these channels is we'll put an entry order above that top and see what happens. Sometimes they go really fast. If that is a running flat, it might not tag you. But if it tags, you start to come down, you just manage the trade, manage your way out of that trade. The only purpose of this one is if you really get a sharp move, like a really sharp move. Should this thing actually do this? If it comes here and it starts to slow down, take that trade off. If it tags you and it pull back and do this, take the trade off. Right? So there are rules to that entry order there. There are specific rules to that entry order in the channel. And this one. So this will also be a buy setup now because we changed the sell. The sell is already over. And this one is not quite a channel. This is different. This one also, we're looking for a buy. We had a buy above here. That didn't go, so you take it off. Okay. We thought this would go, and that didn't go, so take it off. It actually came down. And now you're at the bottom. Okay. So I still think we're going to get this move up, which is an equivalent of this. All right. I still think we're going to get that move up from here, make a flat, and then drop, and then go down from here. So if we're going to get it, you can either put an entry or you can wait for this, because this is not so much a channel, right? See that this only has, well, that's a sharp pullback. This is a sharp pullback. This is a flag. That's only flagging it. So we wait for it to break, make a flag, and then we take the trade. Tesla. It's consolidating for a buy, leave it. Okay, this actually dropped nice. This actually dropped, take that out. It didn't go very far. You have to close that trade already and still close it now. It looks like we're getting a running flat here. Which means this has to go up a little more. And then it becomes a sell setup. But first it has to go up a little more like this. If it goes up like that, we'll make an assumption that this here is a running flat and we look for that trade down, right? If it goes up, make a flag, you wouldn't be tagged on the trade. So you want it to go up first, then put that entry order. Next. Same here, you want this to go up a little and then go for the sell. You want this to go up here, give us a running flat, and then we'll go for the sell. Okay, this is already going down. Just wait for any flag and sell. You should be in the selling this, but wait for flags and then sell. On the 1 hour, it's still sell setups too, right? So just, if you get a flag under here, sell. If you don't get a flag, then expect this to go back up, right? If you don't get a flag, expect this to go back up, make a flag, and then go with the trade. Right, we're in this consolidation. So that should go back up. Look for buy setups. Also wait for flags to buy. Ignore the sell. Nifty. Okay, we were selling this here, so wait for a flag. If you're not in the sellers yet in any one of this consolidation, wait for a flag or another correction and then sell. Bitcoin. Yeah, still consolidating for the drop. If you took the trade, I hope you closed it. You had enough time. I'm on the hourly and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You had 10 hours to close that trade, closed it. We're doing this. So we're probably going to be doing this. And you can put the sell here. Still a sell setup as of now. ETH. Same here. If you're looking for a sell setup, and I think it's going to get it, we will get it now. Because when this go back up, we can make an argument for running flat there, put an entry under the logo for that trade. It's going up, let it go up a little more. And then we're going to make an argument that this here is a running flat. So we can put an entry order under the low. and go for it. If we were wrong about it, it's going to go up, so you wouldn't get a trade. You wouldn't have to worry very much. It will consolidate much more here. XRP. Okay, like I said, you got to watch it here. It could, when we were in the sell, remember I said, close the entry and put it lower, right? We were in this sell, close it here, put it lower, because this could go up one more. And it did. So now we're still in this move up. You wanted to break this top now. You really wanted to break that up. I hope it breaks. The top is broken. Let's see. Nope, but you want that thing to break the top. Not buying it. Wait for it to break the top and then go for the sell. Has to break that top, and then we're going to look for this trade down to retest this low. That is an equivalent of this. How is it going to come down? I don't know. That's not a buy setup though. If that goes through the top, let's make an assumption that this is going up slowly, right? This is the first impulse, that's a correction, and this is going up, but really slow. You can't buy it to the top there. That's a real high risk. The only time you're going to buy it is let it break out of the top and then consolidate, and now we start buying. Anything at the top you're buying, you're setting yourself up for failure. ADA, it's kind of going up. It looks like a correction right now for one more up, and it might be worth buying. If they keep going down, we're not interested in sell, but if they break that up, you want to buy. So an entry or above the top or above the last impulse is a good idea. BNB. Okay, this is coming down, and I think we will probably go back up. I see this coming down here, and then making a flat, and go back up like that, and then still drop. Right? I don't think it's going to go anywhere up or down very soon. Dash. Yeah, downside. We're going to break this low because we're in this flat. Okay. So that is going to come break the low, and then the buy setup starts. So basically you're this. This is what you do, right? You got a big sell setup there. This is going to drop, break this low, and then go back up like this. So once it breaks the low, we'll start to look for the buy. If you're in the sell or you want to sell it, that's a good idea. Now, same here. It's going down, it's going to break the low, then go back up. So how low it can go when it breaks the low? Let's see. It can go anywhere. There's no specific place where it has to go. It just has to break the low. This, I think we'll go with this as a running flat. I really like this as a running flat there. See? So this is going to drop and then look for reversal. Once the low is broken, we'll wait for the buy setup and go for it. AVA. Okay, it looks upside, but it's not aggressive. So you wait for this to come back down, wait for this to come back down here, and then go with this as a possible flat for one more up. Buy setup so far. That's a good flat for a buy setup. Let's see if it goes. Link. More downside. I'll go. More downside. It'll actually come break the low. And this one. Yeah, this could go up more, and it's probably will go up more. It's just having a lot of pullback. So let's see. If you get a flag here, you buy. If it goes above the top, make a flag buy. Wait for a flag and then buy it. If they consolidate in this range, which means if this turns out to be a bigger consolidation here, still be a buy. So that's it. We complete everything. I will take some questions. We will go back to some of the trades we are in. Remind me what, anybody want to remind me which trades we are in? Anybody in any of the trades right now? Good. Anybody in any of the trades right now? Tell me which trades and you're in. Oh, the euro, right? So let's go with the trades that we're in, euro. And we're going to manage those, and then we'll take some questions. So euro is going up nicely. Remember, we're expecting this move. We're not trading for that is happening. We're trading for much more than that. So if this goes up, this is the trade we're looking for. It came down pretty low. So what you're going to do now that we broke that top, keep your eyes on this. If it starts to reverse, take it off. You want it to go more, and then you'll put it to break even and see how it goes. Right? It could still be a flat for downside. This could still be like a 1, 2, 3 for downside. I think we were in one of the dollar yen sell. So dollar yen sell, you can take profit. If you want, or you can put it to break even, your choice. My choice is you should take profit because that was all we were expecting. Right? See, it's pretty easy. What else we have? I think any other trades, just manage them. You know what to do, right? Swiss tagged also. Let's go to the dollar Swiss. Yep, Swiss tag, hold on to that. Hold it for a while more, at least an hour or two more. We're expecting it to come here. So keep your stop above the top. We'll move the stop or we'll take off the trade if we know this is going back up, but very likely it's going to go down more. So stay with that. So, okay, what else? Let's see what other questions we have now. Okay, every other charts we'll do in the New York session. Sorry about that because we're running out of time and I have some stuff coming up here. So we'll wait to finish and then we'll do, yeah, I think that is for the charts you want, right? I see you use three-step structure a lot. Are you also planning? No, there's hardly any five ways trade in the chart. Right, that's the difference between me and what I created and what Elliott Wave have. So when you see people say they're wave traders, they took what I created, and there is no counting on the 5 waves. There's hardly a 5-wave structure anywhere. It's all about 1, 2, 3. You do have, but you can have 5 waves, 7 waves, 9 waves, but it all starts with 1, 2, 3. Here's the basis: 1, 2, 3. If it's going to be a continuation, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. You can continue doing this for a long time. In the bigger picture of things, all of it will still be 1, 2, 3. Right? So basically, it's like that. Next question. The Euro New Zealand and Euro USD trades are tagged. Okay, yes. Do you want to have a look at them? I think we just did in the Euro dollar. Let me check the Euro New Zealand. Okay, this one is manageable. So you're tagged here in this candle and this candle. If the next candle doesn't go, if it doesn't go in the next one, right? Don't put your stop here. Put your stop under here because we're in a correction, right? We're trading that in the correction. So if this doesn't go in the next hour or so, take it off. I think that is the thing you will have difficulty unless you're my traders, because my traders knows the rules of how we're going to trade when we're trading in the correction, right? And what to expect. So you guys be careful when if you take the ones that I tell you are safe trades. You're going to take any trade. I can't tell you to take any trade, but if you're going to take any trade, take the ones that I said are pretty safe, right? Each one is different. By the way, that's a good question. It's each pattern have its own. First, you have to identify the pattern correctly. The hardest part of this is identifying the pattern correctly. It looks easy when I'm doing it. I know when I do it, you guys, everybody look at the way I do it and say, oh, I can do that. Good luck with that. It looks easy when I do it, right? It's like you looking at a surgeon doing a heart surgery and say, well, I can do that. Why can't I cut? Everybody knows to cut, right? You can cut stuff out. So it's years and years of practice of recognition of patterns. And if you can recognize patterns easily, and I make a lot of mistakes recognizing patterns, so pretty much you can guess where you are at that stage, right? Recognizing the pattern, understanding each pattern, what the limits is, what the trade is, what you're trying to get, how far you think it's going to move, what's your risk to reward, how you're going to manage the trade should it not go, right? All of those are things you need to learn. All of that is what we train, when we teach you, when we train you. That's a training course. You learn all that stuff, and then you get to go, right? So there is no panic here. It's not going to drop way down to the bottom, right? It came back pretty high. So it will probably stay a while here. And if you don't like the trade, close it at any time. You shouldn't be taking a trade if you don't know how to manage it. What periods? I think that's a common question that comes from newbies, and anybody who tell you that there is any specific period you should trade have no idea about trading. There is no specific period you should trade. What you need to do is to find the time you can trade. Like, what is your trading time? When do you normally trade? So, and then look at all the charts and see what normally moves in the sessions that you are trading, the time. So let's say you can trade now. See which charts normally move. Like, go do some research, check which charts normally move in this time. But basically, we trade everything. We trade the pattern. So it doesn't matter which pattern we have at a given time, we trade it. It's not about the charts, it's about the patterns. And you might find that the biggest movement you find in a pound is in the New York session or in the Asian session, not necessarily the London session. The London session, you could spend the whole of the London session consolidating, and then it takes off in the New York session at the end of the New York session. So it has nothing to do with the pairs. It has to do with the patterns. If you recognize patterns, trade it. Yes, I have a trading course. I think I talked about it in the earlier one. If you want to know more about the trading course, send me a Skype message. It's Mangal at Mangal457. It's in the description of all the videos. Mangal457, send me a Skype message and I will definitely give you all the details, right? Just send me a Skype message. I'll tell you all the details. It's simple. I hope to see all of you this afternoon, and please bring a friend. Let's make 100 people. I think if you bring a friend, he'll say thank you once he learns something. I've earned running flats with a stop buy profitable and usually takes little time for the trend. Yeah, there's no point in saying you only do running flats. Any of the flats could be profitable. It's all about how far it moves and how fast it moves. Right? Because sometimes, sometimes in the news we get nothing happen, and sometimes out of the news you get bigger trades movement. So if you're a longer term trader and you can keep trades longer, then there's no point in doing that, but then you can get bigger moves at any given time. But there's not an advantage in keeping a trade longer than getting in and getting out of a trade if it's not going your way. I actually did that for my traders. I probably at the end of this week I'll show you, and there's no advantage to that. Because you're putting yourself in more risk than is necessary. That's how I see it. You're open to more risk than is necessary to take, right? So if this is going to go down, no need to panic. We would look at it like this. It's probably going to do 1, 2, 3, and then go back up. They're hardly going to break that low, but you don't have to wait for it to come there. Any move that starts to do this, close the trade. So this trade, you're actually looking to close it. You just wanted to come back to your break even and then close it. Right? So you don't have to realize it's not going, let it come back. It's not going to drop right now, If you think it's going to drop right now, sell it. Right? It's not going to do that. You're not selling it because you don't think it's going to drop. So it's probably, it will probably stay here, and then we'll close the trade, and then we'll wait for this, and then we'll buy it from here going up. Right? That's what we expected to do in the first place. Victor just gave you the Skype there to actually click. So thank you, Vic. Let's go to New Zealand USD and let's see what this is doing. We're gonna wait on this. I told you, I bought this morning, but I closed it because it didn't do what I wanted to do. I can tell you why I bought it and what I wanted to. So when I bought it here. And the reason I bought it is not to get this profit and not to stay with the trade. The reason was if this is going to do that and break the stop, I'll stay with the trade. Once it didn't break the top and come back, I was in the room with my traders and I said, once it comes back here, I will close the trade. I close it for 1 pip profit. Because if it's coming back, it's not doing what I expect it to do. And that means this becomes more of a consolidation for one more drop. Because that's not an impulse anymore. It's going to do this, and then it's going to drop one more here. And then we will start a channel at the bottom here. See that? How many of you visualize that channel before I actually draw it? Now that the channel will happen, but the likelihood when they start to do that is that they channel and then they take off like that. See? Now take a snapshot of this and keep it, because that is a possibility that could happen. And you can't even visualize that. You don't even see that happening because you don't know patterns. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if that happens? Not that I'm saying it's going to happen, but wouldn't that be amazing if you, by the end of the week, you saw that happening? Like, wow, how did you know that's going to happen? I can see in the future. Secret to you guys, you know how the yen drop? I told you it's going to drop. I can see in the future. Or I have friends in high places. Think whichever you like more. But it's the basic way of patterns behave, right? It's the basic way these charts behave, and then you start understanding them more. So, okay, guys, thank all of you for coming. Please make sure you bring more people because you're going to help somebody. I'll see all of you this afternoon. Take care, trade with care. Bye. We're going to trade the news this afternoon. Join us.